everybody, whether you end up at the Tournament of Champions or not, when we first start the first term of the year, everybody's thinking about it. And what's really exciting about it is like, oh man, these are the toughest anglers out there, and I don't know how well I'm going to do. And when you finally make it, it's exciting.
I mean, last year I stood on the outside and watched the top 40 go to the Tournament of Champions, missed it by 1 point. This year, it was my goal to be here. It's so much fun.
Being here on Vermilion at Fortune Bay Casino, the lake itself is gorgeous. The facility is awesome. We're real lucky to be here.
I mean, you talk about a phenomenal body of water to have a Tournament Champions. It's 40,000 acres in the most beautiful country in God's great planet.
It's watercolor that we don't often see up here on the Canadian Shield. You're looking at almost a copper tone with the water.
There's largemouth and there's smallmouth on this body of water. Everybody knows that the predominant fish is smallmouth. A lot of guys are going after them on the deep structures, a lot of the rocks, because it's a shield lake and there's tremendous amount of rocks in this body of water.
The smallmouth in this lake don't react anything like smallmouth anywhere else most people fish. The water's real dirty, and smallmouth need to see what they're eating. The guy that's going to win the tournament is going to catch object-oriented fish. I'm talking trees, rocks, docks, and stay out of the water.
It's a slow, methodical process to get them to bite. You know, they're eating crayfish. Every fish that you catch out there is throwing up crayfish all over the place. So you just got to mimic crayfish.
I'm going to be starting the day out tomorrow, if you can believe it or not, with 20-pound big game tri-lane line, and I'm fishing smallmouth. I found some fish that I don't need the small baits, the small line. I'm going to be fishing the fish basically like I fish largemouth bass.
This has nothing to do with points in this tournament. You got to go for broke. You got to go after the big fish. Go big or go home.
The Tournament of Champions is made up of the Minnesota Pro and Bass Tour's finest anglers. These anglers had to work diligently all season long to make it a beautiful Lake Vermilion, Tower, Minnesota, and Fortune Bay's Resort Casino, Tommy.
Oh, and Fortune Bay Resort and Casino has rolled out the red carpet for these anglers, and they deserve it. They had to be awfully versatile to make it to this point. They had the Mississippi River Current, they had the Gull Lake Cabbage, they had the Minnetonka Milfoil, and they had the Leech Lake Rice. Totally different presentations, totally different patterns, but with all one end result to make it to the big show.
And this is the big show, because what these anglers did was over the 4 events this summer, accumulated points. Those top 40-point qualifiers are the ones that have made it here to the championship.
And that versatility has to carry over to this tournament, because unlike the qualifiers, which are one day, this is a 2-day event. You can't win it on the first day, but you definitely can get out of position and lose it. And in order to take home that Mercury-powered Ranger, they're going to have to work hard for both days.
We're here on day 1, so let's get out in the water and see how they're doing.
The one log, I had a big one that I hit the jig. I had my hook bent over and I pulled him up. 4 or 5 pounders, just a monster. So we'll go hit a couple of these logs up here and see what we get to. We're just fishing this isolated wood. It seems like in practice, every single piece of isolated wood we had had a nice big largemouth on it. I mean, they're big and they're tough to, there's not many in here, so they're tough to find. But when you get one, they're just huge. Oh, that's a good fish. Oh, that's just a little guy. Just a little guy. Felt like a good one, but he's just a little dude. Gotta have little dudes to make big dudes.
There's just so much structure in this lake. I mean, there's so much offshore structure. There's weeds. It's really hard to pattern these fish, and there's a lot of food for these fish. These fish don't really have to eat all the time in this lake. I think a lot of the fish and most of the fish that people are catching are they're catching reaction bite fish.
Well, Bob actually saw him come up and surface, and smallies are something I'm not used to fishing, but he's got a lot of experience fishing smallmouth. Coming up here, I'm used to fishing largemouth with heavy line, and I'm fishing 6-pound line on this, so it's got to baby him a little bit. I made some mistakes in another tournament, tried to force the fish in, like I was telling Bob, and pulled him off, and that's not a good thing. So we just have to take our time, and hopefully there's 1 or 2 more here.
We caught 7 so far. Went to our best smallmouth spot, and I'll be darned if there wasn't largemouth there. We caught a big largemouth and a couple small ones.
Then we hit a few other places. We've been throwing crankbait, tubes, that kind of stuff, and we lost 3 dandies. You know, you get excited and you want that fish in the boat so bad. And tell you what, there is a good one. Get the net. This one here, we want to catch this one. Definitely. This is a nice one. This is the kind we want, okay? This is a good one. I'm not going to horse this fish. If he jumps and gets off, he jumps and gets off. I'm going around the boat. I'm over here. I'm over here. Okay. Oh, he come off. Oh. You see, that's just the nature of the beast. You know, I'm not going to swear. I'm not going to get carried away. God, here's a big 3-4 pounder.
We got 5 in the well. 3 of them are really nice. And we lost 2 other real nice ones. So we're a little bummed out about it. We might have give up a good opportunity to really do good today. But there's a better one.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's sweet. That's number 6, and it's 11:24. So we got 3 hours left to get 2 fish.
We're fishing some docks and some lily pads. Fish. It's a northern. But anyways, we're catching quite a few fish, and what I'm doing, it doesn't seem right, but I got a little 5.5 foot rod. It's my dock rod. And I'm guessing we have 17 pounds, 18 pounds right now. Yep, these are nicer ones. Vermilion largemouth.
Well, we got 2 largemouth, nothing huge. Ready? We've been catching a lot of fish, but oh, just missed one there. It's a lot of fish, but a lot of them are small. We only got 2 that measure. But I know there's a couple of good ones in here, so I'm just gonna keep trying to weed here and see if we can't get a couple, and then I want to fish largemouth for a couple hours, and then I'm going nothing but smallies later in the afternoon. There he goes. Oh, dang it, he didn't get it again. Well, he keeps boiling on it, keeps taking it, but I think he's just lipping and he's getting the tail of it and just running with it. There may be more than one fish there, so he may be fighting over it.
When we come back, results from day 1's weigh-in at the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour.
MSC has all the action of the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour. This is the ultimate fishing tournament, as top professionals and amateurs compete in one of the region's premier angling events. So catch the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour with your outdoor sports lineup all summer long on MSC, your outdoor sports connection.
Welcome back to the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour's Tournament of Champions. Tommy, this has turned out to be one tight race.
Oh, I tell you what, Chip, this is a battle. Conditions have changed a little bit, but the top 5 is stacking up, all within 2 pounds. Leading it with just a little bit over 23 pounds is Dave Scallett. Rounding out the top 5, Jerry Curtis, Brian Krause, Dean Capra, and Steve Kordowski. And Steve has got 21.11 pounds, so they're all within 2 pounds.
But the interesting part about that is you got guys like Dean Capper who've already won a couple tournaments so far this season, and Steve Kordowski, rookie angler on the tour, finds himself in the top 5 heading into day 2.
I tell you, I wouldn't want any one of these guys breathing down my neck for that championship.
I'll tell you what, one of them's going to drive home a brand new Ranger and Mercury combo. Let's go talk to them and see how they're feeling.
I think the 2-day tournament is a real benefit in the sense that it determines who the real champion is. You can get lucky one day, but we put it together 2 days in a row. Then it's more of a determination about who really wins.
I'm a firm believer that nobody beats you, the fish beats you. Today, the fish didn't beat me today. The fish might beat me tomorrow, but they didn't beat me today. The other guys are out there, they must have had bad luck, or the fish didn't fight for them. The fish beat them today, but they won't beat those guys tomorrow. You don't beat up on the good anglers in here 2 days in a row.
I didn't catch fish on my main spot, so it's a good chance they'll be there tomorrow. And if they are, it's going to be lights out because I can have 24 to 26 pounds, which is what it's going to take tomorrow to put me over the hump. The other guy's got a pound lead on me, so I'm going to have to get a big bag, and I think I can do it with the fish that I've got.
Tomorrow, I'm going to do about the same thing I did today. I'm going to spend about 2 hours in one area. But we had two 4.5-pound fish on this one spot, and I don't know if there's more there or not of that quality. You know, and that's what really makes the difference is if you have a couple really quality fish. We call them kicker fish.
I think if the weather stays like it is, I'm going to stick with my same pattern that I've got going. I've tried both in the rain and the sunshine, but I think the sunshine is going to help me a little more tomorrow.
I've never been in first place going into day 2 of the Tournament of Champions, and it would be just huge to win this tournament. It's probably the biggest win of my fishing career. I just hope I can get it done tomorrow.
What time you got?
About 26.
26? All right. Now is when we get busy.
Get 'em, yeah.
Gee, is there any kind of way to start the morning here?
You know, I like the size. I just don't like the size. Big pike. They're always fun though on these light bass tackles. Lake's got a lot of pike in it.
Pro angler Dean Capper was in 4th place after day 1. Has just rocketed down to the shoreline. He's racing his way to the Tournament of Champions. First spot didn't go so well for him. 1 small fish, 1 pike. Let's see if it's at spot number 2.
Morning of day 2, following 2nd place after yesterday, pro Jerry Curtis. A little bit in the morning, and it hasn't gone as fast as it did yesterday for Jerry. He's moved to another dock. He's going to be on this pattern probably for the rest of the day, but we're going to watch him and see how he does.
Basically, starting on the same type of structure that I started on yesterday. Went by where I wanted to start. There was a couple of either guide boats or musky boats or fishermen on it, so I opted for my second spot. What I found when I've been throwing the jerkbait is when you pause, they usually whack it when you pause it.
I'm in the hunt for the money. I need to be able to catch them today and, get at least another 16, 17 pounds a day, and I think I can get up there in the money. But my partner yesterday had an awesome day. He's sitting 2nd right now, so I really want to get some stuff going so we can get him up there. He said he didn't sleep last night. He wants to win that boat.
We're here smoking along the shoreline following Pat Martin. He's running and gunning. He's hitting a lot of docks trying to find active fish. He was in 7th place yesterday, coming into day 2 today. Had the biggest bass yesterday, a 4.75 pounder. So we're going to stick with Pat here for a little bit and see if he can pick any more fish up.
We've been using a brown pumpkin, and I switched to a green colored grape. So we have a little Berkeley power tube. It's set up like the Struggles. It's got a nice spot for the hook to sit out, so there's no plastic to penetrate. And it's got the solid, there's a little solid head in there, and you use the Shark Grisby hook. You can hook onto it, and it lasts a lot longer. You can catch multi-fish with it and snag up and still keep it and keep fishing.
Started off real slow. Looks like we kind of got some overcast weather coming in. So I mean, it hurt my pattern a little bit, but hopefully we can get 8 fish.
Peanut, small mouth. He's happy. But if they're smaller, maybe there's another one.
Oh, they're stacked.
Crackle! Are they stacked? What footage?
And smile. We get another one.
There's a good fish. Two at a time!
Oh. There's something for you.
That was both throw in, and we had a double. I know. It was a blast. Too bad we weren't the 4-pounders, but I'll take them.
The Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour is brought to you by the Minnesota State Lottery, Ranger Boats, K-Fan, the Star Tribune, Media Rare Incorporated.
Oh, it's great. Look at the crowd up there. I mean, there's a lot of people up here. It's going to be a fun deal.
I feel okay. I think I'm not going to count it until it's over, but I feel pretty good.
Today we had to go out and try to put another bag together, and I think I did it. So we should be up there somewhere, we hope.
Sounds like it was tough fishing for everybody, so now I feel a lot better. Leaving this morning in third place, I was thinking, man, it's just drifting away, but now it maybe looks a lot better right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, say hello. This is Lake Vermilion Bronzeback.
429. 429. That is a big fish. Gary's going to hold it up. Gary didn't catch it, but he's going to hold it up.
1 year ago, this is the gentleman who took the boat home. Steve Mintz, his amateur angler, Troy Schwab. It looks like they got a bag of bass, Tom.
Mathematically, Steve, I think you need about 22.20 pounds, 22.21 to take lead unofficially, and that's with my math. We're going to see what you got. 22.13. 22.13, you're very close.
But up on stage right now, we got John Wick III, Tom Bissett, his amateur partner. I know these guys did pretty good yesterday, and they look like they got a pretty decent bag here today.
John had 17.60 pounds yesterday. Today he's got 1830. 1830. John, how would you feel if I told you that you're leading the tournament right now?
Well, if I was the last one to weigh in, I'd be feeling pretty darn good.
We need over 18 pounds for you to take the lead. Jeremy, you've got...
Goodbye, John. 23.46.
23.46. John Wick III, you're out of there. Jeremy Fleetcheck, you're leading it.
Jeremy, that seat may be in jeopardy, bud. I'm looking at a bag of bass.
Gave me 17.22 to take the lead.
17.35.
We got a new leader. I'm sorry to see you go, but Jeremy Fleetcheck, now you're in second. And moving into the hot seat, Dave Scallett.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, but there's a couple more guys right behind me that got some pretty decent fish out there.
What's it going to take to put these two over the top,
You
John?
need 2071 to take the lead.
2074.
2074. That is a big fish.
Gary needs 18.19 to take the lead and the Tournament of Champions for 2000. The Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour is between one of these two gentlemen. Who's going to get it?
We're going to crown a winner here.
1935.
Jerry Curtis, you have won. Here's your trophy. You're the year 2000 Tournament of Champions champion on the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour. Whoop it up for it, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves it.
Now it's time for the winning tip, brought to you by Berkeley.
What I did here is I duplicated there's a lot of crayfish up here for forage, and I fished several different colors, and the crayfish up here were this kind of the brown color. So that's the color I chose to fish with because they seemed like they really wanted that the most. My winning pattern was docks, and I normally don't like to fish docks, but I had that pattern in about 15 minutes of on the water, and I stuck with it for the whole tournament.
When the best of the best all get together on one body of water for 2 days, you call it the Tournament of Champions. That's exactly what we had here on Lake Vermilion. A great championship, Tommy.
Oh, it was a battle, and these anglers made the trip to fish the championship chip, with the amateur division being decided within a half a pound.
But who ends up on top? Jim Severson gets the Chevy truck lease for a whole year. Todd Bissett gets a Ranger Merc combo for keeps.
And the pro division was equally as tight, with day one leader Dave Scallop finishing in third. John Laub drives home a Chevy for a one-year lease for second place. And your champion of the 2000 Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour Championship, Jerry Curtis, with a Mercury-powered Ranger.
Hats off to you, Jerry, and congratulations on being the Tournament of Champions champion. The sun is setting on the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chip Lear for Tommy Scarlett. We'll see you next year.
Underwater video was shot with the Fisheye Underwater Viewing System.